The 2025 WNBA General Managers Survey is in. This is basically who they think is going to have a breakout season, who's going to be MVP, who's going to win the finals. And Stephanie White gives an update on Sophie Cunningham's ankle, and Sophie Cunningham in the background saying, "Put me in, coach." And Makayla Timpson talks about becoming an Indiana Fever. Before we go over the survey, let's talk about the update on Sophie Cunningham, who went down with an ankle injury. And I personally, it could go both ways because I have seen some rolled ankles, which is what happened to her. She rolled her ankle. I have seen some inflated rolled ankles that have taken a month for my athlete friends to heal. But honestly, Sophie Cunningham, she is out on the court. She's not really she's not going hard or grinding or anything, but she's walking around. She's not limping. This is all good stuff. And this is what Stephanie White had to say, and Sophie Cunningham thought she'd interrupt the interview for.
Don't be able to do.
Put me sit on the sideline and talk. That's about all. I'm ready to play. Sit over there and just talk the whole time. I'm going crazy. Yes, she's going crazy. Again, she just continues to be a day-to-day. She makes every 24 hours. She seems to make great progress. So we'll just, it's a long season. So we want to make sure that we're making the best long-term decisions when it comes to her health and wellness.
That sounds pretty good. Sophie Cunningham just adds a lot of flavor to the team. I love this team this year. The general vibes are on another level. I love that Steph White has them kind of bringing them down to earth with hey, think about defense, basically. And there is another interview that the Indiana Fever released about Makayla Timpson, asking her how she felt when she made the roster, and it's really cute.
I'm feeling real good. I'm super excited, grateful for the opportunity. Thankful for the staff for believing in me and to keep me on the roster to be a great fit for the team. So just super excited and can't wait to get the season going. And I'm just so grateful to be here, just thankful that they chose me to be the best fit for the team, and just excited to be around the vets and all my other teammates to keep learning and absorbing what I can, being a sponge, and hopefully I can do great things for the team.
Who's the first person in your personal life that you told after you found out?
Oh, especially my mom and dad, for sure. I just make sure they're always in the loop with everything, but those are my two greatest people in the world. So
how did they react?
My dad, he was just laughing, but they're all super excited. I'm the first pro in the family, so it means a lot for me, and just to keep it going for my family means a lot as well. For right now, they haven't really spoken to me about the vision right now, but just doing what I'm able to do, rebound, run, and get those easy buckets and transition, and play great defense for the team. I'm willing to do whatever they need me to, no matter how many minutes that would be, but I'm going to give it my all every chance that I get. Oh yeah, especially Taj, DB, AB, Bree Turner, CC, everybody really, all the vets, honestly. They good people and they real genuine. They teach me every single day. I don't only have one person in my ear. I have a lot of the vets in my ear, which is real great.
And I know I didn't add this actually in the intro, but Satou Sabally commented on a video that was made about Kaitlyn Chen from the Valkyries getting cut, and what she said was interesting. It was basically like a reality game for Kaitlyn Chen moment. There's this post on Twitter that says, "People have been saying the craziest stuff about these talented international players to defend the meh second, third round picks. So as an international player herself, naturally she's going to feel defensive. Not hard to put two and two together." So it looks like this person in this video is saying that the Valkyries did Kaitlyn Chen so wrong and used her for clout before waiving her, which is weird. How was she used for clout because she was a fan favorite? I really don't get it. And Satou says, "Girl, she got a chance. That's more than others get. And to promote her and share her culture is amazing. She was introduced to the fan base. She got waived because she wasn't good enough yet." And the Valkyries, they went all in on the international players, but don't get it wrong, because other teams have a bunch of international draft and stashes, especially the New York Liberty. The Minnesota Lynx have a lot of international players. This isn't anything new. If you're noticing the trend, the two top teams have some international flavor on their roster. And I think the Valkyries, Natalie Nakase, the coach, she has coached overseas, she has coached internationally, so she recognizes the talent that lives abroad. And at this point in time, there are no rules regulating how many international players can come into the WNBA. In the EuroLeague, there are rules to how many non-European players can play per each team. So far, that has not infiltrated the WNBA regulations yet. So, I think that you do what's best for your team. And while I do think Kaitlyn Chen has a lot of promise, it is very hard to make a WNBA roster. There are so many players that have so much talent and that can be developed. But there's 156 roster spots this season, and there are like thousands and thousands and thousands of college players, and then there's more international players, not thousands, but that I'm sure people are considering. So you have to be elite, and Kaitlyn Chen, I guess she just wasn't at that level yet. It's very hard for a rookie to acclimate to the WNBA. I'm of the opinion that roster sizes should be bigger. We should have more than 12 people on a roster. But, these are things that come with growth. And I know that Kathy Engelbert is thinking about this. I believe next season they are going to expand the roster size. Next up, finally, the 2025 General Manager Survey. So this is on WNBA.com, and they say in the 2025 WNBA GM survey, Clark was the top choice among general managers as the player they'd most want to sign if they started a franchise today. I mean, that is like kind of a no-brainer. Not coincidentally, the Fever were selected as the most fun team to watch and most improved team in the 2025 season begins. That is 1000% true. The Fever is, like Lisa Lobo says, they are just fun to watch. In the survey, 60% of the respondents picked the Minnesota Lynx to win this season. I picked them in my power ranking too, for Women's Fast Break on SI, shameless plug. And the WNBA GMs responded to 40 questions about the best teams, players, coaches, and off-season moves. General managers were not permitted to vote for their own team or personnel. I like that. Percentages are based on the pool of respondents to that particular question rather than the 13 GMs. So let's just dive right on in. Okay, which team will win the 2025 WNBA Finals? 60% said the Minnesota Lynx, and only 10% said the Fever. 20% said New York. I tend to agree with this. I would have thought more people would have said New York, to be honest. Who will win the 2025 WNBA MVP? Most people said Napheesa Collier, and I don't hate this. I really don't, because Napheesa Collier, there is a lot of argument for her probably having had a better second half of the season than A'ja Wilson, but A'ja Wilson did kill it last season too. Caitlin Clark only got 8% of the MVP votes, which is weird because Vegas has those odds way higher, and Vegas knows how to do their data research. So if you were starting a franchise today, who would it be? Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Let's move on. Which player forces opposing coaches to make the most adjustments? A'ja Wilson. Interesting. Which player is most likely to have a breakout season? And they said Satou Sabally. So, okay, Satou Sabally in 2023 was awesome. She just got injured. She's injury prone, and when she came back, she was not able to show her stuff. But a healthy Satou Sabally, like, I can see this as having a case. I predict Rakia Jackson to have a big breakout season, and she's also on here. They have Maddie Segrist, Kelsey Plum. Interesting. She's getting up there. But I guess she is, trying that point guard position. Gabby Williams, I could see that. Ryan Howard, Aaliyah Boston, Marina Mabry. Moving on, who is the best point guard in the WNBA? And this is split right down the middle with Chelsea Gray and Caitlin Clark. And I am just of the opinion that Caitlin Clark is now the best point guard in the WNBA. I think that there is definitely, I think Chelsea Gray definitely was the best point guard in the WNBA. I just don't think that she can do all of the things that Caitlin Clark can do. She cannot run up in transition like Caitlin Clark does. And, Chelsea Gray does have those amazing flashy, like behind the back passes. And she is elite at that. But I think that Caitlin Clark can do those same types of things and more, which is why I, tend to put her above Chelsea Gray nowadays. Who is the best forward? Hands down, Napheesa Collier. Hands down. Can't even, no argument. Who is the best center? A'ja Wilson. Interesting, they have her as the best forward and the best center. Okay. You know what? I can't argue with this either. I love Jonquel Jones. She's one of my faves. Brittany Griner is just so dominant there too. In the offseason, which team made the best offseason, had the best offseason? I mean, yes, I think the Indiana Fever definitely had the best offseason. Interesting that they think Dallas did. Okay. I can't believe they think Phoenix did. I don't even know what they did with their roster, but okay. Which player acquisition will make the biggest impact? Alyssa Thomas for Phoenix will make a big impact because they don't have anybody else. And that's who they're saying here. Who will turn out to be the most underrated player acquisition? And Sophie Cunningham got 7%. And this was tied with Ariel Atkins and Dejanay Carrington. But so far, just from preseason, Sophie Cunningham is definitely like, she has the edge. And I saw a lot of people not predicting that she would. You know, a lot of Fever fans were not hyped on Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever, but you know what? Like, I always was. I saw what she did in Phoenix, and I really liked her style of play. The most surprising move, DeWanna Bonner. Wow, the Indiana Fever have infiltrated this list. Which team will be most improved? The Indiana Fever, Chicago Sky, and Atlanta, and Los Angeles at 8%. Who will win the Rookie of the Year? Paige Beckers. I also think Paige Beckers is going to win Rookie of the Year. I don't think it's even really a question. But I do see that Dominique Malonga has a case because she does things that I think that nobody else can do. And the way that she moves for her size is elite. And a lot, Sonia Citron, she's been really solid, but I think that Sonia Citron isn't as much of a difference maker as Paige Beckers. So this is the one that really got me because it was such a big disparity in who is the best passer in the league. And it is at 75% Chelsea Gray, which, listen, like, I get if you think Chelsea Gray, if you're adding all the years together, but I just think that for 75% of the people to pick Chelsea Gray being the best passer over Caitlin Clark, to me, it's just not. Last season, in her rookie year, Kaitlyn Clark broke the assist record. She just completely shattered it, for not even for a rookie, for the WNBA assist record for the year. And her passes are very difficult. They're not easy passes. And she'll do cross-court bombs. She'll thread the needle. She does every kind of pass behind the back. And, Chelsea Gray is like a phenomenal passer herself. But, like, I just don't see, if you are talking about the 2025 season, you're taking into account 2024, and the small margin of window I give for this being like valid is if you are adding up multiple years and a career type thing. But for me, this is just a hands down, like, no way. It's like it should be closer. But the fact that it's such a disparity of 75% of GMs compared to 25% of GMs say that Chelsea Gray is a better passer just does not make sense to me. Another one that I was a little surprised by, and I think this is from a lot of, like, just from the past and from the added years, but which player has the best basketball IQ? And I think that at this point in time, it for me is hands down Caitlin Clark. I know this is an Indiana Fever centric channel, and I might seem to be playing favorites, but I really do try to balance things out as much as I can. Now, Chelsea Gray got 36% of the vote, while Caitlin Clark got only 18%, and I do think that Chelsea Gray has an amazing court IQ, and she is back. She was injured last season. She wasn't really her full self, so I don't think a lot of the new fans got to see like a full, healthy Chelsea Gray, and she is awesome. But I just think that Caitlin Clark's IQ is kind of crazy for how much she's blitzed and how much people are like paying attention and scouting for her on the court, like for her and not nobody else, but like she is the top of scouting reports. She has to like escape situations that Chelsea Gray was not put in and probably wasn't put in the past as much as Caitlin Clark is. And I think that Caitlin Clark just has a really quick thinking, and she sees things before the players she's like hailing a dime to sees them. And I skipped over the majority of these questions because there's 40 of them, but I thought some of those were interesting to go over. And the last one I thought was kind of interesting is, which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? And Chelsea Gray was the number one answer. And you know what? I don't hate that, because Chelsea Gray does come in clutch. She is so known for that. And while Caitlin Clark did have that like nobody else in college, I think that her adjustment to the WNBA. She was adjusting to a lot of stuff, and Christy Sides didn't give her the opportunity to be taking the last shot of the game. I think we saw that when AB was given that last shot in the playoff game against the Connecticut Sun, and she was like tasked to hit a three-pointer when AB's three-point percentage is not that great. And, you know, she missed, unfortunately, and I would want Caitlin Clark taking that myself if I were the Indiana Fever coach. But she hasn't been able to be showing us those clutch moments in the WNBA just yet, so I don't hate it. But what are your thoughts on the WNBA GM's list? Pop down in the comments and let me know.